Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey and the Resolves, and you are going to have to bear with me today. I had a pretty horrific backpack accident where I put my backpack on this morning, somehow just crippled my back and just couldn't move. So I'm sat here with a hot water bottle, a pot of tea and a pile of codeine to sort of get us through this. I'm hoping that this deck actually cheers me up a little bit because it is a little bit of a spicy meme. It is sort of an existing deck, but it's just got a little bit of a new spin to it, because actually one of the cards in this deck has been recently given life by the starter set that just came out this week. It was like $9.99 for 2 decks with a legendary in each and 4 other rares, I think. So it was 2 legendaries, 8 rares, 10 packs of cards, card back. Yeah, 500 gems as well, which is quite nice because there's an event going on right now, so it'll give you gems for that as well. But yeah, so I've got Navani here, and Navani from that actually completed my playset, so I thought let's give her a try because what does this card do? She's a 4-cost 4/4, which doesn't sound super excellent, especially not in Rakano colours, but she has Warcry, and Navani's Warcry affects each unit and weapon in your deck. So why do we put this in this deck? Because we've got another card called Sower of Dissent. Sower of Dissent says when you Warcry a unit or weapon, reduce its cost by that much. So we'd have quite a one-battle combo here. It's slow and hard to put together because you do need your 4 to attack whilst your 3 is in play. But it's actually quite a lot of value just being well, okay, well, an Icaria in my deck is now a 6-cost. 6/6 with all of this text. Rizahn's 5-cost 6/5 with this text. Even just making random things just better. It's pretty nice. Of course, Sower of Dissent is good with other cards like Sword of Icaria. When you're getting these sort of Warcries going on, do lots of cards like Auric Runehammer, and of course things like the Ixtal Merchant and Valkyrie. So just getting a couple of Warcries on these because they do have quite evasive bodies, because we do have flying, we've also got Overwhelm. So that's pretty much the deck really. It is the sort of gunslinger Valkyrie deck that we've seen floating around with Sower of Dissent, but it does have a couple of different changes in there, apart from the sort of ones we've just been talking about, which is the whole reason for the deck, which is Navani Warsinger. We've also got Bulletshaper in here just because it's going to fix our influence, and a lot of the time I would play a Stranger in a lot of decks just because the effect of summon gain 1 of each of your influence is really nice. And of course it's got the ultimate ability, which is discard a spell to get +2 power. We're not leaning too heavily into this. I mean, we've got 12 spells, and of course this does enable us to have some pretty silly turns, so it can just ramp us up to make a turn 3 Amilli. And sometimes it could just be well, it's turn 3, and I'm just going to play Navani when she's still got a reasonable sized body. And then, I don't know, I guess lingering influence, you can do something with the spare power. But typically just discard something like Privilege of Rank when we're playing 1 because we're not really leaning into this. But it's sort of a nice thing, so if you're playing against Feln, and you're just well, Vanquish isn't going to do too much, and Nava's Torch, just discard one of them, just make turn 3 Navani, turn 3 Cloudmarshal, or just turn 5 Icaria against some decks is still really hard for them to deal with. Of course, I was playing Will and Duo for a little bit. I was also playing the Justice Merchant. I do like the Justice Merchant, but the concession that you have to make is not only a slightly smaller body, but in the market you can't play Bar and you have to play Ildren's Choice. I think Bar's slightly better. Ildren's Choice is now a fast spell, so that's pretty nice at whacking off weapons or just any sort of nonsense, but I do like Bar just because you're able to just machine gun down a bunch of stuff. So if you're playing I don't know, Crown of Possibilities and Mind Link, you just get to snap them both off. This also hits Permafrost and Gift, where it's done, I think the attachment has to be attached to an enemy, so that's a weapon on an enemy unit or an enemy player, or just something along those lines. So you get more utility if you play the Green Merchant, but I think that the Bar is slightly better because it can just hit more targets. I've also, in the market, just got more access to these big Valkyries. These ones won't be getting hit by any of the Warcries, but sometimes you just really want access to Icaria in a big pile of matchups, as well as being able to get Rizahn. I guess some matchups you're getting beat down, just having access to the sort of helix effects from Rizahn just coming down, killing something, getting you free life is often... It's just more important just having the consistency rather than the explosiveness. Also, I was playing Deepforged Blade before Praxis Displacer got nerfed, but now this only gets better. if we were a more like smaller unit based deck, like playing like Champion of Glory or something like that, I'd perhaps want some of these in the main deck because I do really like this with Warcry. But the main thing you want to be doing here is just putting Deepforged plate on like Amilli against time decks, and they will never win that game because you've just got this huge wall, and it's pretty difficult to actually go around Amilli in like a reasonable way because Amilli plus like the small flies that he generates are able to just sort of insulate that from a little bit. And of course, your only real issues there is just Sandstorm Titan getting in the way, but just having like a 9 power, Amilli is able to like clear the way quite easily anyway. And we've also got like stuff like Vanquish and the sound spec from Valkyrie Forcer to get rid of that. But this deck's pretty sweet. It does look like we are quite low on power, but we're not because we do a privilege of rank. We've got Lingering Influence, and we've also got the Rakano banner on the board. But one more thing before we go on to the games. Rolant's intervention has been all-star, and I've been really impressed by this. It's a 1-cost protect for some of your most important pieces, but it's also a bit of a combat trick because the given enemy unit -3 this turn, it doesn't have to be like an attacking enemy, it can be a blocking enemy. So I've never like been in positions where an opponent's perhaps done like their sequencing slightly wrong, and they've blocked my Navani with their teacher, and then torch my Navani, which means I then want to give their teacher -3 power so they don't get to kill my Navani. Given a unit weapon hand +1/+1. Very rarely done that. It's pretty much just been give a Valkyrie Aegis or give an enemy unit -3. That's basically it. But yeah, let's get into the games. I've probably waffled on well too much. What we're looking at here, like 6 minutes. Perhaps we could cut that down a little bit. Okay, so here we are for the first game. I did actually go like 11-0 with this, and then briefly went downhill as I started to make changes. But I think all changes have actually been for the better. It's just sort of being weird matchups and not drawing power. This is a redraw. If that was like a duel to go with the so I could turn to Icaria, I'd be much happier. Okay, well this is good. We get to Crest to try and find a power. Probably going to bottom. Oh, privilege of rank's really good though, isn't it? Because we get to privilege plus Bulletshaper on free. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. So I'm keeping that because that actually is power no matter what. It's also 2 power, which definitely gets us up to like Navani on time. If it was anything else other than that particular card, I would have bottomed it because we do really want power. But I think just the ability to play it with Bulletshaper just makes it good enough. I think if our opponent just does nothing here, I'm actually we get to decide anyway. So next turn, if we draw a power, we have to just sort of have it all. Okay, so just to draw Navani is not really what we wanted, but if we'd have drawn a power here, we'd have been able to go. Actually, it doesn't matter, does it? Because we get it here. Yeah, just ignore me. The coding is definitely taking effect now. Yeah, this is basically what I was trying to get to doing. I was just getting a little bit too excited. Should be in quite a good position here because we get to kill both of our opponent's initiates. It's going to be unlikely to put something that we'd rather kill. So, actually that's sort of nice. The Valkyrie next turn will do some work for us. Could have attacked there, but like the opponent's just never going to block because they can see it's just like an in-play trick. We'll play Navani. This disincentivises our opponent from attacking, although they're probably going to be playing like a Sandstorm Titan here if they've got the power. So maybe Navani can actually. Well, Permafrost is fine. Yep. We feel like a Torch, like a Vanquish. This is just not a threat anyway. Okay, so this is like an Elysian deck with a Berserk element. It's sort of interesting. Well, Icaria's a big girl now, isn't she? So what can we do here? So we can make Amilli, and Amilli's really good back front. Could just have like Equivocate, which is sort of gross, but actually I'm just going to play Icaria. I'm going to ultimate Icaria because now our Rizahns are going to be like huge, but also we get to attack her. Like this is basically free. I'm not concerned about taking 2. A little bit more concerned about perhaps like a Berserk Sandstorm Titan because that's just ridiculous. But just being able to, I'm probably going to lead with the slightly smaller one first, just to, in case we are hitting something like an Equivocate or like another Permafrost. But generally I'm feeling quite good now. Yeah, block. We take a damage, but we just get to kill our opponent's threat. Okay, so I'm going to suspect that this is something. So they'll have fetched something and given it berserk, like if it's a unit. We don't have lifesteal yet. I'm going to attack with this Bulletshaper though. Really been impressed with Bulletshaper. Just hope this is a cycle that gets completed. Also, leading with the 6/5 is kind of nice because our opponent doesn't get to equivocate if they've got equivocate, but if their plan is just to like make Icaria, not an Icaria, a Sandstone Titan, then that's still sort of fine. Because we still get to block there. Oh yes, we shouldn't be allowed to have a Mystic Ascendant. Do we just show them how lucky we are? I'm greedy, let's draw a card. We've got the torch, sweet. So we get to attack here and we get to block it, like torch up on its power. So technically you're supposed to like let damage happen first before using torch, but really our opponent's just like tapped out, so it's sort of fine. Okay, so is there a way we can deal with this? We do have a character who doesn't care about it. So if we make Ixstone Merchant, we can get a carry for next turn, just think we don't care. Just shoot our opponent for free. We don't have any spells in the bin quite yet to be able to do anything too spicy. I wasn't sure if this Equivocate actually came to the market or not, so this could be another copy of Equivocate, but as our opponent's seen, that can be a bit of a risky play. Yeah, so Nostrix over here. Nice. So we've actually got 8 power, but there's not really very much we can do with that. We could just make another Rizahn, I suppose. But I'm tempted just to get this Nostrix down. So, hand and deck. Yeah, boy. Oh, I can't student her. That's awful. I suppose we'll just student Bulletshaper then. I suppose that's actually quite smart to do because now if we draw one with the Mystic Ascendant. Oh, rats. Well, we've got an 8/8 and a 5/7 flyer that's probably going to threaten to finish the game. Spice. So we can 3 and 5. We can actually just grab Deepforged plate. I've already used 2 Equivocates, so I'm just like not really afraid here. I'm going to extra Merchant. Get rid of the Justice Sigil. Get Deepforged plate. We can Crest of Glory here as well. No, thank you. So I get to draw a card here for free. Yeah, just like smack for 10 here. Our opponent's no longer got merchants open. I mean, they can't have another Equivocate in the market anyway, but they don't have merchants open anymore because they've only got like 1 card in hand. That's sort of the downside of stuff like Equivocate, is that you're never actually up on cards because it is just like a bounce spell, but it is actually really powerful. And if I'd not seen so many Equivocates from our opponent already, I probably wouldn't be playing the Deepforged plate there. But just grab like a carry or something. Okay, so this hand isn't perfect. We've only got a single Fire Elephants, but we're on the play, and we get to Lingering Influence, which gets our 3rd power. We get to Privilege of Rank, which gets us our 4th and 5th, which means that we're able to probably fairly easily just go from Navani into Rizahn. So I think we'll actually keep this. If our opponent's playing like Teacher, we're on the play, so we do get to Sword of Icaria first. But I'd be quite happy just to find like a Crest. We can't play that Icaria. We've got access to more Icarias. I don't want to just like, when we're only at like single fire source, just like snap off an Icaria. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Just like Snowcrest J? Okay, it's cool. Okay, this is perfect. So Sea of Glory is great here. Also, this means that we don't need to Privilege of Rank. We can just go like Sword of Icaria, kill whatever your threat is, and then just like make a Navani after. Oh, okay, this is spicy. Well, we're going to be taking some damage here, because we're going to take like 6 in total, like -2 from the armor. Ooh, the carrier as well, nice. Well, I'm just going to take my sword. Potentially a torch here, but I'm sort of fine with that. We get to trade for the torch. We get a Warcry. We didn't get to deal with our opponent's threat, and they do have like a Aegis Warcry unit in play. But I think my plan next turn is just to make this Navani. I guess in this matchup, maybe Navani is just going to be blocking this Champion of Fury. Although I think actually, just because of what our hand looks like now, I think I'm just going to try and block the free one, just get like another torch or trick. Yeah, so if this is just like a 5-1 now, just like, I'll block this. I do go to 9 here. Okay, Vadis is a bit of a pain here. So does Rizahn, how close is he to lifesteal? I'd need to play both spells here, in which case we'd be taking actually quite a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't think we can actually afford to do that. Okay, so big Rizahn's good, because we'll just have like Rizahn into Rizahn. I don't think we can actually afford... Okay, so if our opponent plays another champion, and they get to attack us for 8, we just chump block this with the Icaria. But if we play Privilege of Rank now, and our opponent can't kill us with like the cards in hand, we'll just get to make like a... Was that a double Warcry on the other one, was it? Okay, so it's just... Okay, so it looks like we would have been dying anyway, because we would have just plot this on like the Overwhelm one. Yeah, it's just a weird one there just to try and survive like that turn, because then I think we take over the game just with the huge Rizahn that has lifesteal. Okay, do like this hand. We've got the potential to have the 4th power from the External Merchant. We're on the draw, so of course we do get pretty bad bunch of decks. Like turn 2 Teacher's still pretty good because we do have like some nice hits in the market, but I think for the most part, because we don't have any actual card draw, I probably just don't care about Teacher. So Crest here. Yeah, I'll keep it on Crest. I was considering like bottoming any sort of power, but if we've got 5 power now, the Merchant becomes a lot more useful because it can just get whatever we want instead of the power. I think we'll get another Merchant though. Merchants are great because we should be able to just like keep cracking our opponent for millies, and then when it comes to it, just like get Rizahn and Icaria just to give our opponent the old business here. I think I'm just going to get these Warcries going. Just sort of let our opponent know that something's up. I'm curious what spell it had up there because it had like a fast pause. Okay, so I feel incredibly smart and thin now. Oh wow, so not only have we got like boosted up Icaria over here. So I think we actually just get the additional power. Because this means we get to really nicely go from Icaria to, well, from Amilli to Icaria. Yeah, I've almost had enough there. I can probably agree with him. If you're playing like a slower sort of daily control deck and you just get underneath a weapon, weapons do a lot of damage, just like charge units you can't interact with. Okay, well, easy redraw there because the influence of the power is awful. Even though we do have Bulletshaper, we can't play the Bulletshaper. I do like this one because it's got a little bit of ramp on us. I just have to play the Justice Sigils because we don't want to turn to Valkyrie. On the play, quite happy just to play her on 2. Just not care about anything our opponent can do. Like, our opponent's playing a Legion. If they want to just snap off like Equivocate on our 2-mana 1-1, then that's fine. Okay, so opponent's got like a good scouting decision here. We're not giving much information, just like basic Justice. Ooh. Well, when it matters, we're able to get really nice influence just because the Bulletshaper plus the Fire Sigil of Hershey goes up to 3 and 2. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to use the ability. We're not getting mad value out of it here. But our Valkyrie Force being a 4/4 is going to be nice. And the Fire Source here plus the Bulletshaper means that we're open to like quite a lot of stuff. I should be able to play an Icaria pretty soon. This is a matchup where I just think that Vanquish is dead and I'm just going to discard it if we get into a position where we need to. I suspect like this is either some sort of like Chalice deck, or maybe just like a TGP control deck. If they play like a Petition here, then I know it's our Owl deck. Just because that's a pretty distinctive card. Okay, well, let's get to play Sigil here. Only one. That's a mistake. Should have played our Bulletshaper there because we've got some damage. Because this would bring us up to the that brought us up to the enough justice. So I'm just not gonna play that. Play Valkyrie Falcon instead, just to otherwise I'd just have to concede out of shame, like that I just missed like what should you get, like another 3 power? Yeah, just missed 3 points of damage for no reason. So this looks like it actually might be our Owl deck. Well, we've got a Vanquish for the first Owl, so that's sort of nice. So, as you see, we've got like big flying girls. I probably should be at like 3 less lives. Maybe I was just incredibly smart and thin, and actually... Okay, this looks like they are going to be set by Harshville. Was tempted to set up Merchant there because we'll be able to get Icaria, which is generally just very good against any sort of deck that's just durdling about. But I smell a rat. That block there just made it look like they were just going to Harshville in their turn. So it seems to be sort of sculpting the hand a little bit here. But we do get to attack for 10. No doubt they block like one of the 4 powers. And as our opponent does seem to be struggling on power, and they are a deck that really needs to hit its power drops. I'm reasonably happy here just to not do anything. We've got 10 power in play. And when our opponent's only realistic like life gain is going to be, what would they have? It would be Aid of the Hero. Yeah. So this is what I was suspecting. Does say be Valkyrie Captain because you've got Endurance, just in case our opponent does have anything like Permafrost. Yeah, that's what I was suspecting as much as. So now we're just going to grab Icaria here. I probably can Rain of Frogs us, which is going to be awful, but if they spend their turn just like Rain of Frogs you, we're just like, okay, we'll kill you. Because that is something to be careful when you're 2-up cards. Definitely like got someone the other day. Just like rise to the challenge on like turn 6. I was playing Rizahn, just like snapped off a Vara's choice, just silenced and made them discard their like 7/5 Icaria. I think it was a process over from there. So cards like Rise to the Challenge are just general tutors like your merchants do have a little bit of a cost against like some sort of archetypes. So just go for it here. Could be a Wasp here. A Wasp probably blocks Icaria. Okay, so Lightning Strike kills this. Would have killed it even if it was the other one. So Lightning Strike kills this. Point taking 5. I'm not going to play this 5 Sigil out just because this is like an all-in-one package Merchant plus power. We don't need more than 7 realistically ever. I guess the point where it's like after 7 we need like 10 to do Merchant plus grab expensive thing. Okay, well we're at... Okay, yeah, so I'm almost dead. Just figured out if we, because we're at 8 power, we could have actually just grabbed plate, jammed it on Icaria and got it for lethal. Something you need to think about. Okay, so this hand, like if this was a privilege round, which I thought it was, this hand would be sick, but I think this is this just a redraw? If we draw like any power, we can make a turn 3 Amilli on the play, so I think as greedy as it is, I am going to keep it. Because we do have like quite situational cards here, just like in Rolant Intervention and Torch. Okay, and we've actually got the power, so play Justice Sigil. Bulletshaper is so good. Just like fixes your power in a faction that wants to play Icaria, which is triple. Just like this is so good. So our opponent can. I'm going to attack first. So because our opponent can just like have an answer for this, Amilli. I'm going to discard the torch rather than Roland's intervention because if we get to survive the turn, like maybe we should have waited a turn. Just silence this with the Valkyrie Enforcer. Yeah, so gets Val's choice anyway. Which is sort of awful because we just get like 2-1 there. Actually, it's probably actually quite fair, isn't it? Yeah, because our opponent has to spend the card. Yeah, I was thinking of maybe I should have just done it this turn because then we could hold up the Roland's intervention. So I'm going to attack here. If I put on dual blocks, that's great. Just kill both things. Don't think they're going to. But what we will do is no, we can play Sower. Like, what are they going to play 5 that's going to kill us? I'll head. Like, okay, whatever, nerd. Start it next turn. Mask Torment. Okay, so don't know what we're doing for this Roland's intervention. I'm just going to silence this. Gets our Warcry going. So I've both got some sort of fast effect here. But let's get our 2 Warcries on. Make something cost cheaper. Okay, so I'm doing the double block. That's fine. Give one of your units Revenge. Do we want to trade this? Let's not lose our thing. And also, I don't think we do. I think we'll just save our 3-3 in the air. So Vengeance says sweet, because our opponent is going to get a card back eventually. So because our Amilli isn't really excellent anymore, because he's no text. Oh, our opponent's playing a Spicy Brew. Must be some sort of tokens deck. Actually, because our opponent's got no board now, I'm just going to play Amilli. But I was thinking that maybe if we drew a Merchant, we'd just be able to trade it for something else. But for it, it's still like a really good body. And if our opponent makes like a Sunstone Tide or something, we just get to vanquish it. Okay, so our opponent's in real trouble when they've just got a Dark turn there. Maybe they'd have like 2 units to play just to draw a card off the bolt. Yeah, opponent's really struggling now. Like the Temple Scribe's good. Just to actually hit that because it's a body plus an extra power, plus 2 power because of Devour. What cost? 8-12. Well, we're going to attack here. Like, our opponent can do whatever they want. This is fine. I think we can't possibly lose. We've got like a 1-cost Amilli. I think, sadly, 5 games isn't enough to actually see the good stuff here. So we never actually got to see Navani with Sower of Dissent in play. Maybe that's just a little bit too slow for the format right now. I've got to cost 1. Nothing. Okay, it's just 3-1. Cool. Our opponent's deck's sweet. I can see like what in this could just be really good because you have like Vault of the Praxis plus like Wizkin Life with the Mask. But yeah, that's enough. I'm gonna try another game just to see if we can get Navani actually going. Okay, so here we are with the Navani Warsinger Sower of Dissent deck, and when it works, it's really nice. It's just going to hum. It's got full of gas, but I think maybe I need to look at the older versions of the Sower of Dissent deck because I think they were sort of more all in on the Sower ability and played stuff like Starsteel Die Show, you know, just more weapons, maybe more charge threats. Like we do have Whirling Duo, which is pretty nice. Like if you ever get Warcries and Whirling Duo, just like aside from just the life gain and a bunch of matchups being really good, if that's just like a 6-6, it can just kill your opponents like in just like the turn they think they can have a safe attack. But yeah, the deck's sweet. Obviously there's like a real like flaw to how bad your deck can be when it's just got cards like Valkyrie Enforcer, Amilli, Rizahn and Icaria, because these are just like some of the best cards. But yeah, I think the deck's sweet. It's got a lot of stuff going on. I think I might want to work on this a little bit more. I think with time being gone and there not being any Praxis Displacer, I think that you can get away with playing like more spicy stuff like Amilli or just like things like Deepforged Plate, because outside of Equivocate there's not many ways to deal with them. And generally Deepforged Plate has already done its damage because it's got you for like what, 10 damage, and then your unit, even if they on their turn destroy the plate, your unit's still ready where it wouldn't have been otherwise. Yeah, deck's sweet. Not much more to say about it. Uncertain if we are going to get another video this weekend, because I did actually do quite a few already did like 2 just like during weekdays where I wouldn't normally. But yeah, my back is absolutely toasting me at the moment, so might give it a break. Might make a video on Sunday, who knows. But I've been That Was All, so thanks for watching. I'll see you around.